Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Lord of the Rings is here on Arena, and we're going to be playing some historic Brawl because they gave us a bunch of sweet new legends. And the one that jumped out to me most is Sauron, the Dark Lord. Sauron, I keep saying Sauron, the Planeswalker in my head, but 6 mana Grixis Planeswalker, 7/6, got a really unique ward ability. If your opponent wants to target it, they have to sacrifice a legendary artifact or legendary creature. If not, the spell gets countered. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, you amass an orc. So how that works is you get your first army, in this case an orc army, it becomes a 1/1. And then each time they cast a spell, you get to put an additional counter on it. So you don't get additional tokens, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Whenever an army deals combat damage to a player, the ring tempts you. So the ring tempt is kind of like a dungeon mechanic. So you assign a ring bearer and then it gets these abilities. And each time the ring tempts you, you go to another layer lower and you get additional abilities. And whenever the ring tempts you, you can discard your hand. If you do, you draw 4 cards. So a lot of cool text there. Notably, it says army here. So if we look at some of the cards from War of the Spark, we have zombie army. So not just orc army. So we have amass cards like Enter the God Eternals. We have, I forget what the name of the card is, Dreadhorde Invasion, which also amasses a zombie. So we can have two different types of armies. So we can kind of get 2 different tokens going with that. So the deck is kind of a Grixis mid-rangey shell. So we got like discard, we got a bunch of removal, we got just a couple counter spells. In terms of new cards, we have like the One Ring, which lets us draw a bunch of cards. We have One Ring to rule them all. That gets tempting. We destroy all non-legendaries, and then it like drains the opponent. We have There and Back Again that gets a Smog. Which is kind of cool. What else do we have new? One thing that I wanted to try, we got the printing of Trailblazer Boots, so we can give a non-basic land walk. We can give a creature non-basic land walk. So basically, in historic Brawl, pretty much everyone always has a non-basic. So then your armies can always deal damage. I want to try this out over Meathook Massacre. So it's kind of the same idea. It deals damage over -/-. But then whenever a creature an opponent controls die, you get to create a treasure token, so it helps us ramp as well. Bunch of ramp. We got some Altered Dementia, so if our creatures are dying, or we can sack an army to mill, and then we get another new copy of the army. We have things like Orcish Bowmaster that lets us get armies and then punishes our opponent when they draw. Just kind of a lot of cool things there. Another one I want to try out is Fall of Caer Andros. 3 mana. Whenever a creature an opponent control is dealt excess non-combat damage, amass X orcs, and it's a mana sink that we can deal 7 damage to creatures. Because we're Grixis, always, gotta play Nikki B. We got like Breach, Opus, some Chandras in there. So we're gonna give this a shot, see how it plays out. I didn't want to go like full control. I like playing like all the value ETB style creatures. Grixis things. Everything draws you cards or discards a card. Got Nicol boluses. We got like 2-for-1s out the door. So we'll give this a shot and see how it plays out. So up against Azusa. So Azusa is going to look to ramp. Sounds a little slow. We do go first. Azusa's not really going to attack us immediately. So I think let's try it out. So I think I want to get access to blue now. While this could come into play on tap later, this isn't going to be a super aggressive deck. They're usually going to be playing into larger threats. But in case I have like a blue 2-drop, I want to have access to that. We'll play this out. I was a little worried about this, that we wouldn't get a play on like turn 2. Hopefully we get turn 3. I have this to sweep up later, and then Smog can also help us ramp. Okay, so that's actually not bad. Would have obviously preferred it last turn, so we had access to Tasha. But depending what they play out, this can let me sweep next turn. I want to kind of play this after Smog since we get access to the ring temps. So here, I think we just sweep here. Because then I can go Smog, or I can do these two. We get a treasure token, which works out pretty nice. I didn't want to go Tasha right away, because they had access to both Lair and Faceless Haven. So they can start drawing some cards, which will be good for them. Angrath's Rampage is pretty solid as well. So they have access to... I have 1, 2, 3... I might be able to do both. So... target player sacrifices a creature, and then I should get a treasure, so then I can play Sauron. Now we can get our Orc army going. This should give me enough, like, little incidental blockers. This has been actually pretty solid so far, getting us ahead on mana, letting us multi-spell. Because if I could jam up the board enough with, like, Tasha's, then I could ult it, get some big creatures out of their deck. They probably have some, like, elves and stuff, but... notably, this cannot target non-land, so it's like non-land, so I can't bounce these. Okay, the Titan of Industry come down. Probably blows up the Spiteful Banditry. So up to 1 target creature can't block for as long as you control. That's actually pretty solid. That's pretty good as well. Oh, no. I want to target you. You're going to be our ring bearer. We are going to decline at this time. Up to 1 target creature can't block for as long as you control. So you'll continue to be our ring bearer. I want to go Nicol Bolas here. I can plus... this with a turn timber. This will allow me to draw discard. 5, 6. We can kill that. This lets us ramp. I just want to get to Smog. Ooh, that's actually pretty sweet. So we can get any mountain. So let's get Xander's Wake. So we'll go Nicol Bolas here. I think we destroy this. I was going to Veil a Brazen Borrower this, attack in, discard my hand, draw 4 cards. So pretty solid start right now. Played through some Disruption, played through a Fatty, got to showcase some of the new cards, got to cast Nicol Bolas. What more could you want for in a Grixis deck? We saw there, like, Sauron just being a tough to kill, giving us some win conditions, giving us some value, and then eventually just refilling our hand. Ooh, playing against... I don't know what Radagast the Brown does. So let's check this out. Whenever it or another non-token creature enters the battlefield, look at the top X cards, where X is the creature's mana value. You may reveal a card that doesn't share a creature type. I'm reading your card. Okay, so it's just like, it's a creature pile. It's probably fine, like we disrupt them a bit and then find some removal. Like they are mono green, they had to take a mulligan. I actually think it's worth just disrupting him this turn. Okay, Scavenging Ooze or Yorvo. Yorvo's more of a threat, so we'll get rid of that. Next turn I can set up a Scry with Thoughtseize. And we can get rid of Vorinclex. That seems fine. It's basically a card that replaces itself and will give me a blocker for a turn. So they have Human Shaman, Elf Druid, Avatar Wizard. This card will allow them to kind of fight their way through, but I do have access to Shieldred, which will be good. So we have taken a bit of damage to ourselves. But hopefully Shelly gives us some gas. Probably just take the block here on Radagast. Want to keep our life total reasonable. Play this out, give us access to 2 of each color at least. That's pretty solid. Gotta play it in my my mono green decks. Shifting Ceratops. The Ooze come down. Gargarath. So, I'm gonna go Shieldred here. I don't have anything to play with Rusko, so it's not great. I'd love a removal spell. I want to get rid of this. So they have another creature in the yard that they can eat. They could haste out Shifting Ceratops. Another target creature gets +3/3 and trample to end the turn, so need to be mindful of that. Pretty solid dork, especially with this. They're going for the ramp here. I think that's fine. We're not going to take the damage voluntarily. Coldsteel Heart. With Broxa, it doesn't make much sense to play that out. So we'll go Rusko here. Just try to get the midnight clock going as quick as possible. Gain us some life. Probably want black here. I can play Sauron out. Could hopefully block that. I'm a little worried, obviously, for this Woes Pathfinder. We just haven't really drawn cards this game. Really need to kill, like, I gotta kill this, I gotta kill this. This is starting to become threatening. I'm quite impressed with this card. It's done a hell of a work. Like, if this was normal mono green, taking like 2 or 3 of their threats, we would have been able to just stonewall them. And they're going to have a lot of mana next turn. This is a tap ability. I think we're just taking the damage. Okay, so Guardian Idol. Do this. Do this. Say go. Just try to stay alive as much as possible. So how many pumps do I have? 1, 2, 3. So that only takes me to 9. Probably dead here. Yeah. They're just going to kind of storm off at this point, especially with Vorinclex. Alright. Well, when you draw no removal, you're not going to get too far against a big, big creature board. The Nyx Bloom, like, really helps them storm off there. But that Radabrask, whatever his name was, very impressive. Just giving you, like, a constant stream. Misfit Otter, 26. Let's play some Niv-Mizzet. Let's try this. I'm a little weary that we're a little light on lands. But we have an answer to Niv. Let me hit a land drop. Let me hit a land drop. Let me hit a land drop. Deck. Probably lost this. Concern is, like, we're too far behind at this point. Like, they go Niv next turn. And meanwhile, we can't get anything going. The Bowmaster's like, we get 1 ping off it, because then they just ping it. But 2 lands off 11 cards, like Crucius opens us up. Like drawing a couple dead cards in this matchup. The One Ring's like not terrible. Why are you tapped? You are not land. You are not land. Goodbye. I think they have like Prismari command. Nope. Nothing played. So we'll go for the kill here. They do get access. So they will get to draw a card. They get to ping my Orc Master, but my Orc Master gets a ping back. I get a 2/2 here. And then hopefully they are either tapped out for Crucius, or I can get Sheoldred going. Okay, so they unsummon here. Okay, so they missed their sequencing. We'll mill them one. Not a huge amount of mill, but hopefully kind of messes them up. I still have a 3/3 here, and we cannot for the life of us draw a land. I'm gonna go Crucius here. We found a land. So if they just go Niv here, I can play a land. Wow, they're stone raining us. Opponent's got no chill. So they likely have like a counter spell here. And I kind of want to save my treasures, so we're just going to do this, I think. I had a feeling just like how they were playing it out. It kind of sucks to do this, I think, but I also want to get ahead on mana. Let's go lesser. Let's hit our line drops. So now we do this. Flashback Infernal Grasp. This will tax Niv. They'll get a ping off, but it doesn't really matter. I can hit in for 6 and then kind of go from there. So we kind of survived both missing line drops for 3 turns and a stone rain. Now we can go greater. Crucius fixes all. This leaves damage on the stack, which is also nice. So even though it's bigger, we can kind of stack damage on it. Plays nicely with that other enchantment where excess damage is dealt. Next turn, I have enough mana for Sauron if needed. I also have this Uvenwald. See what they bring out here. They're currently dead on board. Wanted to play the One Ring, but sometimes you just don't get it. Oh, sick. It's combo time. No, I don't have red mana. No! Damn it. Oh, that's so bad. Stupid auto tapper. Stupid auto tapper. That's not bad. Didn't want to give him the free attack. We had the right. It was like prioritizing. So, Grixis things, just really powerful cards kind of coming together. The big thing with those Niv decks, if you control Niv, if you give them an untap step, you usually lose. If you're playing Niv, like historic, generally don't play it out. Like, especially against like a Grixis deck, like a black-based deck with a lot of removal that you can anticipate. I generally suggest you approach it in the sense of, okay, let's see. Yeah, we'll keep this. Mono black. I have access to Fable, I have access to Memory Lapse. I might just get Dreadhorde going. Okay, so they're probably gonna go Lily here minus. But I want to hit line drops. They go Lily minus, then I have Kolaghan's command that I can do. And if they're just going to kill that, it's fine. Because then I can also potentially do this. I have access to a couple of things.
Nobody knows Dominaria's shadows like don't overthink.
I think the way our mana's situated, we're a long ways. And this only deals damage to... It's 2 games in a row. Like... Okay, so we're gonna discard, I think, Memory Lapse. And Kolaghan's command. So deal 4 there.
Oh, that's my cue to leave.
And then we'll get our army going. So next turn, I have Thoughtseize, take something out of their hand. I have Murderous Rider. And now my army can start amassing. This will come down and I could get the engine going right away. That's so interesting. I can't. I'm just not hitting lands again. Dark Ritual, Shieldred, Cruelty, assemble the parts. Poof, this is a loaded hand. Okay, so they can Dark Ritual, which gets like a lot going. They could assemble the parts, which gets Noxious Gearhulk back. So I think we're just gonna do this. They might Dark Ritual to Shieldred. Gets rid of my Fable, but I can't really do much. Just keep playing lands. So, could see Dark Ritual. Just see Lily.
Something suspicious is going on. And for once, it's not my fault.
That's fine. I have access to this, so I can attack in.
Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
And then we get the mass zombie going. Could just get this and then hit them. That might be best. Let's name blue here. Because they can plus here. Let's see if they cast the spell first. They do. Aha! You've activated my trap card! They lose the card. My zombie gets bigger. I can attack into Lily here. Where are you going, opponent? So what they should have done was discard first, if their intent was anyways. You get the card out of my hand. So that would have forced like the game action there. They get the value that way. What do we get? What do we get? Flowering of the White Tree. Nice playable there. Do this one more. This deck's felt pretty sweet. If you can build it a bit more controlling, you might want another land. So Tatiova is like a land ramp, big things. We'll keep this. Just start with island here. Probably go Mordor here. The boots will be nice against them as well later. Yeah, especially with drawing Bolus. I want to make sure I hit my line drops. It's pretty solid because if I don't, I flash this in, and then with Tatiova, I'll get some more value. Like, I got a bunch of super playable 4-drops. Let me hit one. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! I would love to draw a card. Tad awkward there. I mean, to play tapped, so I don't get to have Shieldred out. They also missed a line drop, which is notable. Oracle. They don't have a land on top. The Oracle is, like, pretty threatening with Tatiova. So I think we just go Shelly here. I gotta put another line in this deck, I think. So the nice thing is, like, they would have normally sacked that if they saw the boots. Okay, so I can Bolus here. Doing this now so they don't see. And then between both the boluses, we can eat away at their hand, hopefully find our 6th land and kind of go to town. What did we exile? Paradise Druid. So not like too much disruption. Interesting, they're opting to not play Tatiova here by taking an extra turn, take an extra point of 2 damage. Even if they play Tatiova, they could do River's Rebuke here, but that's their whole turn, and I untap with Bolus and then draw another card, take out another resource of theirs. They are getting closer to Uro. They could Uro back if they choose. Gains them a little bit of life back, but they just down tick on Bolus. So they take damage here, I draw an extra card here. Tap land. But you can die.
Has consequence.
Let's go Sauron here. They could have a counterspell. Put you back in the command zone. But here they can't actually play Tatiova and a land. They'll lose the game. My Bolus could kill them. They're dead on their next upkeep. So they need a lot to happen. Even if they just go like big dumb creature, they need 2. Like even if they go Titan of Industry, I just throw on the Trailblazer boots. The correct line was probably Bolus to try to force something out of their hand and then hold up this for mana ramp. Okay, so we see Nissa here. Nissa can animate a land that targets my Bolus.
Rise, my elemental friend.
And then they die. And then they die. Alrighty. So deck felt pretty solid. Let me know what you think, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.